Brendan Samuels here. I'm the Bird Safe Buildings Coordinator with FLAP Canada, and I'm joined by my friend Autumn from Safeways Ottawa, and we are standing here at the doorstep of Parliament in Ottawa. The last time I was here, we were showcasing birds collected from across Ontario that were tragically killed by colliding with glass on buildings, bringing attention to the federal government that this is an issue of federal jurisdiction. However, today we're going to talk about an issue of provincial jurisdiction, which is the regulation of building construction. Earlier this week, the Government of Ontario passed Bill 98, which has major implications for how buildings are constructed all across our province. Formerly, cities like Toronto had passed green building standards, which included bird-safe building design requirements for private development. And we now have lost those standards, so municipalities are unable to regulate building construction. We are calling on the Government of Ontario to adopt a province-wide green building standard and ensure that birds are not being killed by colliding with glass on buildings, which is against federal law.
You know, people think, oh, it's just 2 or 3 birds hitting my windows every year, but you multiply that, it's a huge number.
Not only are birds being lost as a result of collisions, we're losing all of the services, the value of pollination, of pest insect control, of ecotourism that those birds would otherwise provide over their uninterrupted lifespans.
On Monday morning, at about 9:15 a.m., I'm going to be debating Bill 98, which is the bill to put the final death knell into green building standards in Ontario. And I'm going to channel all of you when I stand in that house and push back against what the Premier's doing. To think that we've set standards that are now being used around the world and we have a government that's going to take them away and make this worse. Like, I can't even comprehend it. And so I just want to thank you for giving me the strength to speak out, to speak up, and to confront that man directly on the harm that he's causing. So let's get into some difficult changes in this bill. Removing the requirement for green development standards, taking that away from municipalities and making it a voluntary instead of a mandatory standard is going to set Ontario back. It means we're going to build less energy efficient homes, which are cheaper to operate. So at a time when we're seeing gas prices go through the roof, at a time when so many families are struggling to figure out how to buy groceries, heat and cool their homes, pay the rent, pay the mortgage, this government's going to make policies that will help lower operating costs, help people save money by saving energy. They're going to get rid of them. The other thing that's going to happen is there's going to be other unintended consequences. FLAP Canada did a fantastic event on the weekend I attended that shows how many birds die by hitting building windows. Green building standards in Toronto prevent that from happening by having mandatory bird-friendly glass in those windows. Those are standards that are being internationally recognized. There was a company there, Bird Friendlier, who talked about how they are getting work all across the world, creating good jobs right here in Ontario based on the standards that exist around bird-friendly windows. And now Ontario's going to get rid of those. So the rest of the world is saying, you guys are doing great things in Ontario, we're going to do this, and this government wants to get rid of it, and it's going to increase the number of birds we lose. And I think that's wrong. It's wrong for nature, it's wrong for our quality of life, especially when simple, low-cost solutions exist that actually Ontario companies are innovating and moving forward, benefiting our economy at the same time.
If you want to help FLAP Canada advocate to the Government of Ontario, click the link in our bio and send a letter to your representative in provincial parliament, as well as Premier Doug Ford. Let them know that you want them to adopt a province-wide green building standards to ensure that new building construction is not killing birds and is compliant with federal law. Send a letter. We really would appreciate your support.
Make sure to send your letter.